Hey, it's Barb and Nick, and last week I had lots of great comments about Nick being the rock star. He's going to be a show horse for the NYCHA shootout in Fort Worth, Texas, which is really a big deal. And he'll be one of 18 show horses for 18 veterans, and there's going to be teams of a trainer, a veteran, and a horse. So every veteran has one world-class professional cutting horse trainer as their coach, and it's just very special. Anyway, I've been getting Nick ready for that event, and I talked about getting him conditioned. And then I had the question, well, how do you do that? And so I thought that was a great question that a lot of people have about getting their horses in shape. So I thought I would share with you how I'm thinking about this for Nick. So I think about it in terms of the event that he is about to do. So in cutting, when they compete, there's 2.5 minutes. That's the actual showing part. And during that time, they have approximately, I don't know, a minute and a half of that. It just depends. Actually working a cow, and sometimes the cattle are very fast, running wall to wall, or just fast in stopping and turning. So it's the horse requires a lot of aerobic conditioning, lung capacity, to be able to not run out of breath for that particular 2.5 minutes. And you just think about if, well, I'll use myself as an example, that if I haven't been jogging, which I don't do a lot of jogging, I used to, if I don't do something that really gets my heart rate up for a long time, and I don't do it consistently, then when I do something that expends more energy, my heart rate goes up really fast, and it takes a while for it to come down. It's exactly, of course, the same with Nick. So I'm working to increase his aerobic capacity for the event, and I'm working on strengthening his muscles so that he's had a lot of practice using the muscles he needs for stopping, turning, pivoting in quick sequences. And of course he needs to be tuned up just to get ready to show too. But a lot of his mental conditioning and the tuning kind of goes hand in hand with the physical conditioning too. We just have to build it over time. So basically two things: aerobic capacity and just reconditioning these muscles, particularly in his hindquarters, where he stops and turns quickly. So I'm going to show you how I do the interval aerobic. And I'm not an exercise physiologist, of course, so I can't speak to you in very sophisticated exercise physiology language. But I think that's the way I do a lot of things. I just understand the concept, and then I do my best to make it as simple as I can and be as accurate as I can. So I do the interval training by his breathing rate. So right now it's about, it's just a little bit over resting heart rate and breathing. I can see by the flare of his nostrils. And so what I'll do is, in the beginning, and I won't take all the time on this video, but of course you come out and you walk for a good 10 or 15 minutes just to get his muscles warmed up. And then we start to do some trotting. And I have a good time with Nick because I enjoy doing as much as I can with my eyes and my seat and my breath, because it builds our connection and it builds his responsiveness. So I trot, and then I can bring the energy up, and then I can bring the energy down and slow it down with my seat and breath. He's not really listening that well to that this morning because he's still feeling pretty good, but if he got a little bit more tired, he would be a little bit more responsive. So then after, I'm going to walk here so I can talk. So then after we trot for 5 or 10 minutes, I would check his breathing again, and then we would go into a lope. Now, Nick was never trained to do rein cow horse or ranch riding and cutting. We train them to be responsive to what we need, which is, lightness in their face and feeling our seat and those kinds of things, neck reining. But we're not very sophisticated when it comes to lead departures. In fact, we prefer for them to go into a lope from a trot because we want to trot with a cow. That's another whole topic. But I'm just going to go into a lope, kind of explaining why we just kind of trot here and then go into a lope. So the loping, cantering part is the main part where we expend energy, lung respiration, and so I just monitor how he's breathing, and I keep loping until his respiration is, high, but not, I don't want him panting, of course, but just like I would do for myself if I was out jogging. I could feel when it was time to stop. And so after years of training, being a professional trainer, I know where that point is, and I take him to that place, and theoretically every day it takes longer and longer to get there. And then I would let him come down and walk, and then I would start a cycle all over again and do that 2 or 3 times. Everything is dependent on his heart rate and his breathing rate, which I can see, I can feel. And so the conditioning process is just doing this every day. I don't need heart rate monitors, I don't need any of that, but I do need the consistency of building that lung capacity in that way. And it's just so important because, of all of the things I'm talking about, because of course we don't want him to get injured if he does have to expend himself for a longer period of time. And of course we want to, get a light sweat 2, 3, 4 times a day, in a particular ride, again, just to build that capacity. And then we work on the flag, or we work cattle, and I just do that for very short little sessions at a time, so I can keep building that but not overdoing it. So there you go. It's a pretty simple formula, and one that I know that will be easy for you to try at home on your horse. Just pay attention to their breathing and take the breathing high and then let it come back down. It doesn't have to come down to resting, but just a little bit of resting, and then trot or lope and do it again. And then work on your legs and your eyes and when you stop, recovery, and all of those things. It's just it's not just conditioning, there's all kinds of things that you can work in your communication and your recovery. So that's what I have for you today. And since last week, I have a link for you that you can, if you choose to donate to sponsor Nic to go to Fort Worth, you can do it online now. And there's a link below the video, and I would be so grateful. Last year we sponsored 2 veterans and 2 horses, and I was so excited and grateful for you. The cost this year for 1 is $5,000, so the cost for 2 is $10,000. And I'm very hopeful and grateful, and if you want to do a whole sponsorship, that'd be awesome. If you want to do $10, that would be awesome. But I would really love for you to be a part of it. The other thing I just want to tell you is Victor Ayalis, who is a veteran who showed last year, unfortunately, not long after, I don't know, a month or so after the shootout last year, got COVID and passed on, and Victor was awesome. So this year, the people who help sponsor Nic, they're going to be Ayalis's angels. So be an angel, and I'm going to keep you posted on what happens. Okay, have a great week. Bye-bye.